Visit capky.org. An effort to redraw Indiana's congressional maps has failed. The Indiana Senate voted 31-19 against House Bill 1032 on Thursday. The 10 Democrats in the Indiana Senate voted against the measure, plus 21 Indiana state Republicans. Legislation to redistrict cannot be proposed again until after the regular legislative session ends, which is expected sometime in March of next year. The move was heavily encouraged by President Trump and Vice President Vance. I'm Rob Nichols reporting.
Hi, this is Duke Brubaker at Champion Mazda in Owensboro. Winter is here, and so are the new 2026 models. Test drive a brand new 2025 with outstanding incentives like 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2025 Mazda CX-50s and CX-5 Turbo Premiums. New 2025 Mazda CX-30s starting at $26,996, and new 2025 Mazda CX-50 preferred all-wheel drive hybrids starting at $32,987. It's the Mazda More to Move You Winter Sales Event, going on now through January 5th. Learn more at OwensboroMazda.com.
Ryan Radke here from Sunday Night Football on Westwood One. Mike Golick and I are in Dallas for primetime action between the Cowboys and the Vikings. Dak Prescott and the boys are coming off a tough loss to the Lions that put their playoff hopes on life support. Now Minnesota comes in after a big shutout win over Washington. Join us for the Vikings at the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
On your home for the NFL, 102.7 The Game.
And now, Western Kentucky weather on 102.7 The Game.
From the Weather Center, I'm Rob Nichols. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 27. Mostly cloudy on Saturday, high 32. Becoming partly cloudy on Saturday night, chance of snow, low 9. Sunny on Sunday, a high of 15. Clear Sunday night, low of 8. Sunny on Monday, a high 33. Monday night, mostly clear, low 23. Mostly sunny on Tuesday, a high 45. Mostly cloudy on Tuesday night, low 35.
From the Floor Concept Studios. Legally, we're WLME 102.7 FM, Lewisport.
But you can just call us The Game.
102.7.
102.7.
Yes, sir, it's Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to
Lineman High.
It's Live at 5, and it's brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. And now, your host for Live at 5, Stephen A. Turner.
What's up, and welcome to Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, dedicated to you, committed to justice. That's FWHlegal.com. Vic Evans in the captain's chair in the Floor Concept Studio. As Stephen A. Turner is in Ann Arbor, he is interviewing for the athletic director's job. And I'm being joined here in the Concept Studios by David Clark.
I'm in mourning, Vic. I'm sad right now. This is the first weekend without high school football since the beginning of August.
No. You start with the preseason games, the scrimmage games, and lead right in. Never fear, though, because we got a host. The Cromwell family of networks today has got you covered in high school basketball as we make that switch over. Make sure you're following 102.7 The Game on all social media accounts, X, Instagram, Facebook, all kinds of information out there. Of course, you'll also find the Harris Group stat leaders. You'll find players of the week firing back up next week, all that you'll want to know. When you want to hit us up on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union text line, 270-903-0389. And then also make sure you just do us a favor. Go, whether you ever listen or not, just go and subscribe either on Spotify, iTunes, iHeart.
Yes.
It helps us just with the number of subscribers. We don't care if you don't listen. Just do us a favor and go subscribe. As you also get the live stream every day. We're here in the studio. And if you're a business that's looking to get out there and advertise, we're looking for a live stream sponsor. So jump on board.
That's a no-brainer right
there.
It
should be a no-brainer in the live stream sponsor. And before we get to some high school basketball, we got high school basketball, a lot of basketball in segment 1. Segment 2, we're going to talk about the winners and losers of the SEC schedule release.
Holy smoke.
You would rather see this be about another month away or 2 months away and be like a college football schedule release.
Yeah.
It's how you like. I'm like you. Go to eight divisions, whatever you want to call them.
Sure.
and then like have somebody else do all the schedule and he release like the NFL does. It would, if college football would do that, it would become right below the NFL for the biggest money makers out there.
Yeah, we'll get to that segment too because I've got a lot of thoughts on that one, man. You saw today it's not balanced, but we'll get to it in segment 2.
So we got winners and losers. We're going to run through Kentucky's schedule on the SEC next year, and then in segment 3, there's some monster NFL games this weekend that are going to be a lot of playoff implications out there.
Had a wild one last night.
We did have a wild one last night right here on 102.7 The Game. And so we'll talk a little bit about those games. Now for the weekend, before we get to high school, for the weekend, if you look at it, we won't have the bowl games on because Saturday, you've got, first of all, Saturday kicking off, you got Army-Navy right here on 102.7 The Game. Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, you were a big fan of that game.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of that game.
I like I do love the jerseys and the helmet designs that I think that's always kind of what the hardcore college football junkies do. They can't wait for that design because they change them up from year to year.
Yep.
And I saw on the Twitter machine, I saw that I think for Navy's helmet, each helmet.
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's incredible.
To paint that helmet, 4 hours. Listen, it is the game. It's America's game, and it stands alone. It should stand alone, and it's always about singing last. Or sing first. You want to sing first.
Yes.
The winner goes to the other one and sings first, and so there you go. Following Army-Navy, you got UK-IU right here on 102.7 The Game. If you're an IU fan, you want to listen to the IU announcing, we still have it over on Jack FM for that. I think Kentucky, tips off, or the pregame kicks off at 5. If it's IU, it's 5:30.
Yes.
Is how that'll work. And we'll talk about that because this is a must-win for UK. I mean, I don't care how you slice it. You lose to Indiana. I mean, first of all, I've been on this radio station for 3 years now and live at 5 talking about how irrelevant Indiana is, and they are. The problem is UK basketball is sliding into Indiana territory.
100%.
And if you lose to Indiana, and I'm not so sure they don't get smashed by Indiana.
I'm really concerned that Kentucky's not only going to lose, Vic, but lose by double digits. And I think if that happens, the pressure on Mark Pope becomes real. I think today I got to listen to I was traveling for work, and I got to listen to the KSR podcast today. And I think even those guys are starting to come around to at least entertain the idea that things – it's trouble time in Lexington, and more specifically for Mark Pope, because at this point in the season – I thought Drew Franklin had a great comment today where he said, let's say Kentucky goes, 14-4, 12-4, whatever the amount of games is, somewhere. Okay, you lose 6, you lose all 6 of those opportunities in non-conference, and let's say you only lose 4 in the SEC. We still got 10 losses, and you're probably. I don't know if the SEC – now, having said that, the SEC did win the SEC-ACC head-to-head challenge.
Some of that will be what SEC teams you beat, because the problem is you're not going to have any good wins.
No, I mean, you're going to have to beat Alabama. I would consider – I think Alabama, Florida's really good. I know that they've lost – let's be honest.
Hold on. They're not beating Alabama or Florida.
Have you seen, Florida – we talk about some screw jobs. Have you seen a couple of the ways Florida's lost to these?
Yes.
It's bad. Yes. Bad to the point to where, it's blatantly obvious the call. They got critical calls wrong against Florida.
Can we just be honest, though? They're not beating Florida. They're not beating Alabama.
No. So you have to beat Indiana. You have to beat St. John's if you're Kentucky. This game. You got this at home. This is in Lexington.
You can't lose all the major non-conference games in your non-conference schedule and expect to be a tournament team.
I agree.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see how they go 14-4 in the SEC.
I don't either.
I mean,
I think the league – now, it's not as good as last year. Last year was the greatest – you could argue the SEC last year was the greatest in history, of college basketball. But let's be honest.
Kentucky's not very good. I mean, let's resign to the fact that I know the SEC's down. Kentucky is at best a mid-pack SEC school, and they're going to lose some SEC games on the road that they have no business losing because they're not very good.
As it stands right now, 100% yes. I would completely agree with you. They're a bad basketball team. They lack continuity. They lack the effort. They don't crash the boards well enough. They get the open shots. They don't knock them down. I can't quantify. Hold on. I can't quantify how. And this is, listen, you're talking about Jack Givens, people that go to practice, right? And I've even seen videos, Vic, from warm-ups, right? These guys went in a non-game situation. These guys don't miss. But then you put them in a game, kick it to the corner, wide open three, clank. What is it?
Hold on. I've coached players all my life that there were guys that were, and there were guys that were BP hitters.
Yeah.
You can work on BP, and they're hitting lasers all over the place, put them in the game, couldn't hit. I've got guys that I call gamers. I'll give you a perfect example. We had a young kid, Clements. All right. It was not Nick Clements. It was his nephew.
Okay.
He played for me. Okay. And I was at Southern. All right. And we the first couple games, we struggled at third base. Okay. And I was like, this time my dad was alive at the time. And I was like, man, we don't have anybody to play third base. He said, put Clemens over there and let's give him a look. And so the next practice, we put him over there. This kid would boot balls. He'd step on his own glove. There was one play we hit in our practice time. He stepped on his own glove, lost balance, and fell flat on his face.
God.
All right?
It's a neck
And I looked at my dad, and I was like, you are crazy. I was like, he's like, do me a favor. He's like, next game, just put him at third base and see what happens.
You're like, Dad.
I'm like, this is the most craziest thing I've ever seen. I could roll it to him and he couldn't field it. He's like, do me a favor and do this. Well, it's Dad. I got to.
It's Dad.
The dunk son of God was Brooks Robinson down there. Mike Schmidt combined. I don't care how hard you hit it to him, you couldn't get it by him.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing thing it said. We go to the next practice, take foul balls. He's bouncing them off his head, off his knee. I don't think he fielded a ball in practice all year long, and he never made an error in the games. He was a gamer.
He was a gamer.
I don't care how hard you hit it to him. He would make the play.
And what you're saying is Kentucky doesn't have a gamer.
No, they have great
no
practice shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no gamers on that team.
And that I don't know how do you fix that. I don't think you can.
No, you can. It's who you are.
So Mark Pope is the head basketball coach at the University of Kentucky. He's got to figure something out. Because I'm not.
Well, I'm not going to
subscribe.
Help BBN. He's going to be the head basketball coach next year at Kentucky too. No matter how bad this thing goes.
I don't agree with that.
There's no way. You're not paying Mark Stoops $34 million buyout and then throwing a $37 million buyout that you have to pay all of it. Now you got it in installments,
right?
And you're not coming back and paying Stoops or Pope a $19 million. He'll get another year.
You think so?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Even if Kentucky doesn't win
another game, let's say
they go 500 in the SEC.
Yeah, he's coming back.
You still think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I disagree. But going back to this game, I think for Kentucky, you got to show fight. I mean, if you want to win back Big Blue Nation. Because I think a lot of people, they've lost people, right? But I think a lot of people are on the fence waiting to see what happens. You're at home. You're in Lexington. If you go out, get ran, you're not running up and down the floor.
What's going to happen is Lamar Wilkerson's going to hit 10 threes, and because of JMI and our NIL deal, we let him get away to Indiana. That's what's going to happen.
So I'm gonna say no on that one. I think there's going to be one guy that Mark Pope's going to make sure if somebody beats him.
He hadn't hit less than 4 any game this year for IU.
Now, having said that, can Tucker DeVries hit 10 threes? 100%. Tucker DeVries is the guy that nobody around the country is talking about. I watched him at Drake. I watched what he did. He got hurt, when he was at West Virginia, followed his dad to IU. I tell you, and again, I'm not just saying this to win local brownie points right now. There's in big games, big rivalry games, and even in the NCAA tournament, there's always that guy that breaks out that you didn't see coming.
Heritage Hills guy's going to break out.
I'm seeing it coming. Trent Sicily.
He's from Southern Indiana. And no matter what Indiana says, Purdue, the people that live in like the Southern Indiana area, it was IU UK. Was the biggest rivalry, just like guys in northwestern Kentucky.
But
he's going to have a monster game.
You're talking about a freshman, Trent Sicily, 6'8", can play inside out, averaging 8 points a game. And
he'll
want to
give 35 if Brandon Garrison's guarding him.
If Brandon Garrison's guarding him, Sicily's going to take him to school. Because I want to make sure to give spotlight to Sicily because if we had a guy from Owensboro playing for UK, I want to make sure we give this because this is a kid that lived his childhood dream. Probably grew up a Hoosier fan. Probably grew up with with that tradition around him, and getting to live that out in Bloomington's a big deal. Vic, I'm going to say this. I'm hoping as a Kentucky fan for the best. But I gotta be realistic, and I say Indiana wins this by 12.
I was gonna say I say Indiana by 13. Yeah. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I just don't think Kentucky's very good. They're not a tournament
And then
team.
the fallout's going to be real. And that's where I think we disagree about next year. I don't think that's set in stone yet.
They're not paying $50 million worth of buyouts.
You may have to.
They may have to. They don't have that.
I think they do. I think for basketball they
because
can
the one thing that's going to protect Pope on this is the whole JMI deal. Like, well, you could have had Wilkerson, you could have had these people, and it falls in the end because JMI is wanting them to give up NIL rights for everything other than just JMI people. That's going to protect Pope a little bit. Now, what it may force do is it may force Mitch to get on board and make some changes in this JMI deal.
Well, the Pope released a statement. They had an interview or something I saw on the Twitter machine today where Mark Pope was pretty much saying, like, hey, we're in a good spot right now.
What are they going to say?
I mean,
he's not going to come out and say, dude, Mitch has really hamstrung me here. Like, he can't do that.
And for all the Calipariisms that we got sick of, I mean, it was a great we had to separate, right? But at least Calipari would say, hey, we're falling short here, we're falling short there.
That's the problem, though.
If we're falling short, and that's truly the case, and again, who knows the details, right? I mean, who knows, right? But if Mark Pope is saying that, knowing darn good and well that deal is preventing him from, inking Wilkerson and the guy that went to North Carolina, Caleb Wilson, last year, and why, it's Tyrone Stokes, he should already be signed with Kentucky right now. So if that's what's holding him back, and he's actually going out and knowingly misleading Big Blue Nation, that's just going to drive another wedge in that relationship.
He has no other choice. It's like being an NFL coach and you going up there going, my GM screwed me because of his draft picks. You can't do that. Yeah. It's not going to do that. Tell you what, let's jump on. We've got 3 big games on our Cromwell Family and Networks. Also want to talk about some other big district games going on. It's a big district night throughout the ESPN Owensboro area. First, over on CJ 105.7, Aaron Owen will bring you the ATTC Manufacturing Southern Indiana Game of the Week. Tell City plays host to Evansville Day. That's at 7 p.m. The Southern Indiana Game of the Week over there on CJ 105.7.
I'm excited about this. We're going to get into more, but especially with the Southern Indiana teams, I got a little bit of a pulse here. Of course, I've been, as a dad, I've been all into football season all the way to.
I'm a little missing on basketball.
So I've got a little bit of a pulse with football, especially basketball, especially in Western Kentucky. I'm going to be honest with you, Vic. I am completely clueless. I've got a lot. I got you all, Southern Indiana. I'm going to do some homework. I'm going to get caught up when you
Perry's
guys.
off to a nice start. I think Heritage Hills is a pretty good basketball team.
But I like to get to know about the SIAC. I'm clueless right now. I will go to work for you guys. I promise.
Then if you talk about district games going around, and the KT Gunterman Shelter Insurance Game of the Week. It's a girls-boys doubleheader down in Coal Country. A little 10th district action. McLean taking on Muhlenberg. Girls tip off at 6. You can hear that. Jalen Darty and Griff Gray will have it for you thanks to KT Gunterman. And in this game, listen, I want a couple things here. On the girls' side, to me, this is a chance for McLean to make a statement that they are by far and away the best team in the 10th district. You look at this, they're 4-0, have a lot of people talking. The one thing they can do is they can score the basketball. How about this? Carly Floyd leads away with 19.2 points per game in the first 4 games.
Yes.
Anna Miller, 18.5 points per game in her first 4 games. And Ella Larkin at 14.5. I'm not sure. You look at it, I'm not great at math. That's 61 points out of those 3 in the first 4 games. They do that tonight, they're winning again.
I tell you what, kudos to McLean. I know Jalen was really bragging about the girls in the group chat. And honestly, I took it with a grain of salt. I thought, I'm sure they'll be a little better. They might be a contender.
No, they are.
Like McLean County girls, I can't wait to see as they continue this climb up against competition. Like tonight's a big one.
It is huge.
How do they perform tonight? It's another test. When you watch the highlights and you see those girls just putting up points, I mean, they're playing up-tempo. They're getting the ball up and down the floor. The threes are flying up in the air. Vic, I'm buying some stock in some McLean County girls basketball right now.
I think you have Catholic and Breck in the early season that are kind of up here. Then there's a gap, and then you've got teams like Davis County, Owensboro that we'll find out more tonight because they play tonight.
Huge game.
McLean, Edmondson. Can Edmondson take another step? I think, Grayson. I think there's some right there in the middle. I think McLean's right there in that second tier trying to get over that chasm and get up there to Catholic and Breck. On the boys' side tonight, McLean's 2-1, coming off an overtime loss to Webster. And they got a couple big-time scorers, too. Leighton Bozart leads the way with 19.3 points per game. They got 3 other players averaging double figures. You got Cameron Baird averaging 18.3, Braxton Floyd, 13, Jalen Groves at 11.7. And they go down to Muhlenberg, and Muhlenberg's 3-0 in this early going. It's been Kason Moore, 17.3 points per game. Gavin Groves averages 14.3. And then they got River Woodruff and Ivan Sparks. They're averaging 9.7 and 9.
Whoa, Sparks?
Respectively.
Another Sparks?
Another Sparks.
Oh, look out.
I mean, you know how important these 10th district games are because you only get 3. You only play.
Yes.
You only get 4. And then if you win that district, you don't play a one-and-done game. This will be a huge matchup down there in Muhlenberg County.
That's the crazy part today, Vic. It's December the 12th.
Yes. I don't understand why they're playing them this early.
Hold on. It's December the 12th, and this is a de facto tournament game almost. I mean, in a sense that, like, every game in the 10th district, Vic, you're pushing for that 1 seed so you don't have to play in the first round.
Every game you are, except the first time you play something, because they use that dumb tiebreaker rule that if you end up with the same record, it's the second game you played, which means, let's say Muhlenberg and McLean end up tied at like 3-1.
Yes.
They split, and they both beat Ohio County 2 games. I'm not saying it's what's going to happen.
No,
Let's just say that happens. All you've done, tell me, is this game means absolutely
so you're right.
0.
This game,
but it still does.
It does mean something because we don't know how it's going to shake out. And this 10th district, Vic, McLean, Ohio, and Muhlenberg,
very balanced, very
good
strong.
district.
And I think it's ought to be a good game tonight. I think both of those games, if you look at McLean on the girls' side or Muhlenberg on the girls' side, Isabella Wilkins leading the way. How about 19.5 points and 7.5
another
rebounds?
Wilkins that's a star down in Muhlenberg. Shocker.
Yeah, surprise. I don't know. I kind of see this one. I think McLean makes a statement on the girls' side. On the boys, I'm up in the air. I think it's going to be really hard for McLean to go into the Muhlenberg and win.
Well, Muhlenberg, rock solid. It's coal country. It's basketball country. But Darren Lynham can coach, man. At the end of the day, he's one of those guys, and, if you feel how you want to feel about any coach in the area, but one thing I can guarantee you, death taxes, and Darren Lynham's going to get the most out of his team. He just does. He does it every time, Vic, whether he's been at Hancock, whether he's been at McLean, the guy flat gets it done.
Then following us, actually it's at 7 o'clock tip-off time, so we'll go on about 6:45 right here on 102.7 The Game. We got the first More Automotive basketball game of the week. Caleb Farkas is going to join me on the call. We'll be at Davis County, where Davis County takes on Owensboro. Davis County 2-1. Owensboro playing their first game. Kind of odd to play a 9th district game. I'm surprised they didn't try to get out of this and move it back, kind of like Catholic did with Apollo.
Yeah.
But Davis County is led by Mr. Basketball candidate John Moss. How about this? In their 3 games, Moss averaging 26.7 points per game. Then Michael Acton come over from Owensboro, averaging 16.7. His first game against his old teammates. How does he handle that? And then De'Aaron Watkins, how about 15.3 points per game and 15.3 rebounds per game? Those are the big 3. You got a lot of questions about Owensboro. You don't know. The football guys won't be playing yet.
No.
If you heard on Live at 5 on Wednesday when we had them in studio, they're going to play next Tuesday against Muhlenberg, their first game. Owensboro, to me, is the team that has the gap between what their ceiling can be and what their floor can be is bigger than any school in the region.
Yeah. With Owensboro, it's interesting, because I think a lot of people were thinking for a while, at least what the kids were thinking, that the senior class would come out.
Football.
Maybe guys like T. Green would come out who can. I'm going to tell you guys, T. Green can hoop.
Chaden Morris.
Chaden Morris, Xavier Conrad, Landon Clark, all those kids have decided to kind of rest their bodies for a couple weeks and start getting ready for potential college football down the road and
take a victory tour.
And take a victory tour. But like those guys are going to run track, so they just decided that, hey, for our last go around, we'll turn the page. And for Owensboro, that's going to be the question: is can DeMarcus Gandaway Jr. and Trey Shimwell and some of these these younger football players that are coming over to the basketball team? Though Owensboro is a very talented freshman class. I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a heads up. Like, Davis County is going to roll tonight on the boys' side, and you're not really going to be able to get much data from it just because I
don't think we're going to know about this Owensboro team until after January.
You're not. It's just the bottom line. Now, the girls.
It's interesting.
Hold on now.
That
This
game takes off
is
at
huge.
5:30. You got to talk about that a little bit. Kennedy Lane leads the girls for Davis County at 22.5 points a game. Riley Hayden 12.5.
It's a shame the boys aren't playing at 5:30. They should have flip-flopped that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're right live at 5 or we would have the girls'
Well,
game.
no, I mean,
as a
seriously,
doubleheader.
because I mean, come on, everybody knows the boys' game's going to get sideways, so why not feature the girls at that 7 o'clock spot?
Owensboro's just played one game. They got a win over Apollos. Owensboro's first 2 games are 9th district games, getting right in the middle of it. In that one game, Swanigan, Unique Carter Swanigan had 18, Avery Martin 17, Abby Sapp pitched in 15. We're going to learn a little bit of something about these two teams. I worry about Davis County's ball handling. Owensboro with their guards are still going to be able to put pressure on you. I wonder if Owensboro can score against the better teams in this region. I think we're going to learn a lot tonight at that 5:30 game. I'm looking to getting over there and catching the last, quarter and a half.
Well, I will say, I watched some of Owensboro versus Apollo. It was right before the football pep rally to send them off to Lexington. Apollo's improved, by the way.
That's good.
I mean, you can see in some of their other games, like they've gotten better. I think they even got a win the other night. I forgot who they played, but I noticed right off the end, like, hey, this team has definitely made a big jump from where they were last year. And this Owensboro team's a little bit of a wild card. We know what Coach Powers Payne did, the defending third region champs and the Davis County Lady Panthers. You got Briley Henry. You got a lot. Oh, my gosh, the big scorer. See, I'm not in basketball mode yet.
For who?
For Davis County girls.
Lane,
Kennedy Lane. And so what Davis County brings to the table. Owensboro,
new coach,
little bit more of a
system.
wild card, but, man, these Lady Devils, Vic, they have some talent. And a name to watch for tonight is Adrena Carruthers. I mean, she hit a buzzer beater right before half. And that is Dre Mel's little sister, and she's got that clutch gene. She's got that cheat code gene in her. I saw her hit the three-pointer before the half, and I said, well, not surprised. She's a Carruthers. That's what they do.
Also in 9th district, Catholic is at Apollo. Girls only. The boys aren't playing tonight. Girls only. Catholic will be heavy favorites. Then you got.
I like to see if Apollo can compete, though. I think this Catholic team with the Marston twins not playing,
not as deep.
Not as deep.
Yep. Down in the 12th, you got the couple boy-girl doubleheaders. They're all on tap tonight. Grayson is traveling to Edmondson. That'll be a really good girls' game with Grayson County, with Bree Jones, Edmondson, Carrie Ann Williams.
Tell you, man.
See who the favorite is early and down there.
That's the heavyweight matchup of the 12th right there. Because those two teams, Vic, I'm sorry, but those two teams – we're talking about Edmonton and Grayson. I think
they're both right there with McLean and that.
I think
second
they can
tier.
compete at the region. Those are two teams you're not going to want to see at the Sports Center.
Yeah. Then on the boys' side, I know Grayson's a heavy favorite, but don't sleep on this Edmonton team. When it's at Edmonton, you never know what you're going to get down there on a tobacco stick matchup.
This is a big this rivalry game. I think the people around here kind of don't understand. Think about OHS Catholic, Apollo, Davis County. That's what it is. Like
put it on steroids down there.
They don't like each other down there.
Also, you got Butler is traveling to Trinity. And the girls' team and the boys played Apollo really well last week.
Yes.
I think the boys at Trinity would be a little bit of a favorite. Butler girls would be a favorite, but Trinity's off to like a 4-1 start. We'll see how that works down there. So that's what we got on the 12th.
Trinity boys hit 10 3-pointers against Apollo. And I'm telling you, anytime a team can knock down threes at that clip, you're going to be in any game.
Then also tonight in the 11th, you got a boys-girls doubleheader and a Breck Mead party with the girls' games at 6. Looking forward to that.
It's way too early for a break. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
it's Breck Mead?
It's a Breck Mead party at Mead today. On the boys' side, Mead's 2-0. Shouse averaging 26 points a game. Medley averaging 17.5. Breck is a lot more balanced, a lot physical. And then on the girls' side, I think one of the surprises is how well Mead played in the first part of the first week of the season.
Sure.
On the girls' side has been a surprise to me. Can they would play with Breck? Not sure they can do that, but we'll find out a little more tonight. Yeah. And then last night, since I couldn't be on the district because there's only 3 teams down there, Ohio County played last night on the boys' side, handled Franklin 74-48. Ryan Durham led the way with 3 players in double figures. He had 20. Alex Quisenberry and Tate Abney pitched in 14 and 12 apiece. And Ohio County went 13 of 28 from beyond the arc. I think that's now 2 games out of their 3 they've played. Where in those 2 games they won, they made 20. I think it was 20. I think they made 13 threes in each one.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, this team can flat score the basketball when they get hot. You saw what they did in the first half against Grayson, Vic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they were right there, and then they kind of, the old proverbial ceiling kind of caved in on them. I did get another name for the Red Devils tonight to watch out for, even though they won't be at full strength. I forgot about soccer star Valor Smith.
Oh, okay.
Coming out, and he's a hooper. So we'll be watching out for that one tonight.
Be like Jason Morris, go get tuba players to come play offensive line for you. Go get a soccer player to play basketball.
Yeah, but Valor can hoop, man. He's got a lot of potential.
Steve and I were down at the Sports Center last night as KWC gets a women's sweep.
Yes.
The first time, I think it's the first win ever by the women over Ashland.
You're talking about Ashland. Back to back.
I think their coach came into last night with an overall career record of 257-25.
I feel a little ashamed of myself. I spent a lot of the fall with Caleb and Nicole Neiman at the OHS girls soccer games because Lily Neiman, their daughter, plays. And, I was telling Heather last night, I was like, we have got to get out to some KWC women's games.
They play up and down. And then on the men's side, they take down Ashland, get their first GMAC win. Panthers now 5-4, 1-2 in GMAC play. Ashland had come in 6-2 after losing their first two games, had won 6 straight. And they played well. Caleb Macri had a big game off the bench. He led the way with 17. He was our Kentron Manufacturing Player of the Game. Thought in the second half, Jorge Sanchez Ramos, the smooth operator. Yeah. He was a stat stuffer. I think he had 11 points all in the second half, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 0 turnovers. And then, of course, Levante Harris, who's the, gunny Levante Harris, who coming into last night, I think was number 2 in the country.
Wow.
In 3-point shooting percentage. He was shooting 59.1% from behind the arc.
Holy smoke.
Had a rough game last night, went 2 of 4.
Okay.
Think about that. You go 2 of 4 and your percentage drops.
Wait a minute. Why did he only shoot 4?
They really closed out on that. He had 14.
I want him to shoot 20 if he shoot like that.
But it was a big win, and they'll be back at the Sports Center in action. Another men's doubleheader Saturday kicks off at noon against Tiffin, trying to win. They got a 4-game homestand, so you got the first one out of the way. You've got Tiffin on Saturday. Then next Wednesday, you got Illinois Springfield, who all they're doing right now is leading the GLVC.
Sure.
And then you got IU Southeast on Student Day where they bring everybody down here at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so that's what it is. And I'll tell you what, we're going to take a pause right there. We'll pause for the calls for Karen Gross, a realtor with RE/MAX Professionally Realty Group. Your dream is her mission. You can contact Miss Karen, 270-315-9810. You're listening to Live at 5, 1027 The Game.
What distinguishes Foreman Watson Houltry from many other law firms? It's the pride we take in the communities we serve, stemming from the deep roots our attorneys have in this region. We view giving back to our hometowns as an obligation, not an option. Foreman Watson Houltry, dedicated to you, committed to justice, FWHlegal.com.
Chad, how do winners win shopping for a new vehicle?
The Red Tag event at Don Moore on 54. They'll be winning, picking, and grinning.
All in one place.
New Chevy Trax, $23,495 or $299 a month.
And with non-commissioned product specialists.
There's no fiddling around.
New Silverado Crew Cab, $39,990 or $499 a month. DonMooreChevy.com.
Scan the code.
Town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and the lineage of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in clothes, placed him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. Merry Christmas from Foreman Watson Houltry, FWHlegal.com.
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and Cromwell Media, in partnership with AMVETS Post 75, Floor Concepts, Brad Emberton Heating and Cooling, and American Legion Post 9 invite you to join us for our 11th annual Shelter Santa. This holiday season, you can make a child's Christmas wish come true. Adopt a wish list from a child spending the holidays in a local homeless shelter. Just call 270-683-5200 or stop by the Cromwell Media Studios at 1115 Tamarack Road. We're supporting kids from Oasis, St. Joseph's Peace Mission, Hayden Home for Girls, and the Daniel Patino Shelter. Your generosity can bring hope, joy, and magic to a child on Christmas morning. Let's make sure every child has a gift under the tree this year. From all of us at Cromwell Media and our amazing sponsors, AmVets Post 75, Floor Concepts, Brad Emerton Heating and Cooling, and American Legion Post 9, let's make a difference where we are and spread the magic of Christmas with Shelter Santa.
Hi, I'm Zachary Clark with the Greater Owensboro Realty Company. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading to your dream space, or selling and looking for the right price, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. With proven results, local market knowledge, and real commitment to my clients, I'll make sure your move is the right one. Let's turn your real estate goals into reality. Call or text me today at 270-231-1576. And always remember, close with Clark.
Southwire in Hallsville has been family-owned since 1950 and strives to be generationally sustainable for years to come. They are one of the leading manufacturers of wire and cable used in the transmission and distribution of electricity. Southwire delivers power to millions of people around the world. Their mission to be a preferred provider of solutions to the electrical industry by providing innovative products and services with exceptional quality and delivering on our promises. They also are proud supporters of all Hancock County athletics. Go Hornets!
Let's get back to Live at 5 with Steve and Coach on 1027 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Poultry, FWHlegal.com. Big thanks to Rim there, who absolutely killed it on the return.
It's the cutest thing ever, man.
It's awesome. It's awesome. But yeah, so, hey, like we talked about, you got 3 big games on the family and networks tonight. Big shout out to our title sponsors for those. You've got ATTC Manufacturing over there at the Southern Indiana Game of the Week. Katie Gunterman, Shelter Insurance, over at the Cougar Game of the Week on 97X. And, of course, More Automotive, the new title sponsor for both the Red Devils and the Game of the Week. And talking about schedules and games, I will say I do like the idea. And I think they could have waited a little longer. I think this was a little too close to the end of the season for the SEC. I think it would have been better. This is something you should have done like in February, March, drop the school schedules, because you kind of spread it out a little bit. You're right at the end of the season. I don't understand why they do it, TV and fans and people wanting to buy tickets. I understand that. But the SEC released the schedule for all SEC teams yesterday, and we're going to talk about Kentucky's schedule first. Then I'm going to give you some winner to losers, and I'll let you go on your rant for about how it's unbalanced and unfair in the SEC. I think it's a little better now that you have the 3 common opponents.
Yeah.
And then every 2 years you switch the 6.
Yeah. It's still complicated and easy fix, but we'll start with the Cats. I mean, let me say something here, Will Stein. May God speed with you. I'll give the old Hunger Games salute there, because this schedule that we're about to reel off, I don't know if Kurt Signetti, I don't know if Nick Saban, Bill Belichick could navigate this schedule.
It's an overrated schedule.
Oh, my God.
Hold on. I mean, there's a lot of wins on this schedule for you.
Okay.
All right, we'll start out with Youngstown State.
Well, yes, of course, Youngstown State.
You're going to get that. All right. Then in week 2, you get Alabama. If I'm going to get Alabama, hold on. If
you're not going to marginalize Alabama.
No, you're not winning that game. But if I'm going to get Alabama, I want it week 2 when we're 1-0, because the atmosphere in Lexington is at home.
Yeah.
It will be huge. Well, as opposed to getting them in week 9 when you're 2-8.
I'm saying, and also, you know me, I'm not a believer in Kalen DeBoer at all. Like, I'm not saying, look, I get it. They still won 9 games. They lost 3. They bullcrap their way into the playoffs. But honestly, the best chance Kentucky might have to win this game is Kalen DeBoer. So,
but he's probably going to be at Penn State.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, who knows what's going to happen even with that? What you don't want is like a real. To me, I don't think DeBoer's a bad coach.
Hold on. Vandy beat Alabama 2 years ago.
Yes.
So if Vandy can do it, so can Kentucky.
Well, if Will Stein is Clark Lee, maybe we have a shot. We'll find.
Week 3, you got Texas A&M at Texas A&M.
Yeah, I mean, Kentucky, the last time they went down there, did play well. Really probably should have won the game the last time they went down there. That was several years ago. It's a completely different team. But again,
once again, we talk about the SEC. I think A&M, as you talked about, has been in the SEC since like 2012.
Yeah,
they've never been to Kroger Field.
Right, which is we're going to see some discrepancies in the schedule. But you as you know, as a Notre Dame guy, A&M, very tough game as well.
Oh yeah. Then they got South Alabama.
Yeah, it's got to be a win. I mean, in your first 4 games there, Vic, you got to be 2-2 at the worst. You have to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got South Carolina. At South Carolina, they got to go back to there again this year for the 2 years in a row.
You got to find a way.
Because they're resetting that schedule up.
Got to find a way, Vic. That's a winnable game. South Carolina's good. Yeah, of course it's tough. I mean, South Carolina's got a lot of 5-star players on their team, 4 and 5-star guys. You got to win that game if you're Will Stein in Kentucky.
LSU, Lane Kiffin. I mean, if you're going to get Lane Kiffin, you might as well give him his first year.
So, I was bullish on LSU preseason. I still firmly believe they had a national championship talent roster, and Brian Kelly just took the whole thing, put it in the garbage disposal, pushed the button, and destroyed it all. The question is, how much talent will LSU be able to retain? Because the one thing I know about Lane Kiffin, the man can coach.
He's had a good.
He can flat get it done.
He's won the portal the last few years too,
and it terrifies me to think what Lane Kiffin can do with the resources and the talent at LSU. Is it an opportunity for the Cats? Sure, but man, I'm not putting much faith in that one, Vic.
Then you got Oklahoma.
I mean, there you go.
Oklahoma's overrated. Brent Venables is not a good coach. Oklahoma's won some close games,
but
and DeBoer blew one. It is at Norman.
At Norman.
Notre Dame went in there a few years ago and wrecked them.
Yeah,
I just don't think Oklahoma's that good. I think it's a game you can go out
they're
there and win.
a 2-loss team this year,
and
then they're in the playoffs.
Other than the game in Alabama where DeBoer kind of blew it, they really haven't beaten a lot of great teams.
And they dominate. And again, I know Michigan's not great, but they dominated Michigan earlier this year in a game that they played. So.
Yeah, but your coach was in the locker room at halftime, like DM and OnlyFans girls. I mean, come on.
That's fair.
And then you got Vanderbilt.
I mean, another tough one. We're going to be torn next year. Evan Hampton's going to be on the roster, and it's not crazy that Evan Hampton's getting 5 carries a game. We'll see how it goes. People forget, that last week at Kroger Field, Evan Hampton's, as soon as the new year hits, Vic, he's going to Vanderbilt. Evan's going to be there for spring practice. He's going to go through. I think he's going to get.
You got a 5-star quarterback that flipped from Georgia.
Who knows?
Going to be at spring practice. You got a 5-star receiver that flipped from Alabama.
There's still litigation. Pavia is trying to get this another year of eligibility.
Well, why wouldn't he? TV wants Pavia back so he can have his mom on TV.
Well, that's
good for the ratings right there.
I'm not going to dig myself in a hole there on that one.
Then they got Tennessee.
I mean, you can't say that's going to be a win.
No, it's a loss every year until they just.
So look at the back.
Not done yet.
No. But we started that back half of the schedule with Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, and Tennessee. You cannot realistically say Kentucky's has a chance in any of those. Maybe Oklahoma, maybe.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay. I'm going to tell you this. I don't think they can reel off 3 straight of that. But this day and age of comparing what you're doing, though, is you're comparing Kentucky of you growing up and in the.
It's a lot of battle wounds. You see this thing?
You're
comparing a scarred heart, Vic.
Pre-transfer portal.
That's right.
Pre-NIL. Where you just had to go out and recruit.
Sure.
Alabama and Tennessee and Auburn, they were paying guys long ago.
Yeah, of course.
So, but in this new day and age, if I'd have told you Indiana was going to beat Ohio State 13-10, you'd have laughed at me.
Well,
but they did.
Well, I don't know. No.
Now, can they go 3-0 in that stretch? No, but can I see them against LSU, Oklahoma, Vandy, and Tennessee? I think in this new day and age, 2-2 should be your worst.
I think the comparison to Vanderbilt's probably that. To me, that's the one we need to compare Kentucky to.
Who went 6-2 in the
SEC? I think that's where you're at because let's be honest, and Indiana might win the national championship, right? And I'm not surprised they beat Ohio State last weekend. But Indiana, at no point in Kurt Cignetti's tenure, has had to play 3 straight games like Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, and Tennessee back-to-back.
Tennessee this year is as overrated as Missouri. Do you realize I think between the two of them, they have 1 win against against a Power 4 school that has a winning record. There's no way they should be in the top 25. It's that overrated SEC preseason. They get a couple wins against some overrated SEC teams and end up being a top 25 team, and everybody wants to tell me how tough the SEC is.
It's the SEC is significantly more difficult than the Big Ten and the ACC, and it's not even close.
No,
the data and the analytics, the head-to-head matchups support it. It's not even up for debate. The SEC has dominated the other P4 conferences in head-to-head matchups. Indiana, like I said, and again, Indiana's number one. It's a great time to be a Hoosier fan.
I'm going to tell you right now.
But Indiana has never had to play a schedule like this.
You put this Indiana team in the SEC this year, they're in the playoffs.
No, they're not.
It's Ole Miss.
They're not.
They are better than Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is in the playoffs. They're better than Texas A&M. Texas A&M's playoffs. They're better than Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's in the playoffs.
Maybe in a one-game off they can win, but that back-to-back. Indiana's defensive end got hurt slapping somebody's hand at the stadium. How are they going to go against SEC offensive lines every single week?
Did Ole Miss play in the SEC this year?
Yes.
Indiana is tremendous. Is head and shoulders above Ole Miss.
I completely disagree with that.
And they're head and shoulders above Oklahoma. The only team they're not. The only team they're not better that I would take over Indiana right now in the SEC is Georgia. That's it.
And I disagree.
No, well, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the Indiana.
Hey, look, the playoffs are coming. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see because I will say that's a good thing. I think we'll find out because I think Indiana's path is tough. I think for the overall one seed, they got
they get Oklahoma A&M right at the top, so we'll know right off the quick.
Right.
You know, and when Oklahoma,
Alabama.
So when Oklahoma,
which did anybody want to see that again?
No, here's the
thing. Come on, committee.
Alabama had no business being in the playoffs.
Come on.
When Oklahoma comes to Memorial Stadium there in Indiana and gets wiped off the map, then you can tell me I was
could be Alabama. It wouldn't shock me.
You're going to beat them, too.
Alabama, people don't realize, man, had a lot of guys banged up in the SEC championship game. You know I'm not a DeBoer guy. But it's the attrition. That's the difference you get in the SEC.
Hold on. No other teams get injuries.
You don't have if you don't have the grind. It's like in high school. You know, think about like a high school team that plays a very, very difficult schedule. And then you get to like a district games where the district games are all easy and you can rest guys. You don't have to play your starters as long. Yes, I think that absolutely matters.
So when
Indiana doesn't have to play their starters as long as they're playing Rutgers and Northwestern and all these terrible teams.
When Notre Dame played their last game of the year, the guys that were going to be their A1 starting lineup, only 2 are now starting. You lost your starting left tackle before the season started. You also lost your best defensive lineman in the regular season. The best cornerback in college football, Leonard Moore, missed 2 or 3 games. Like, injuries happen. It's what football is. They don't happen more in the SEC than anywhere else. They just don't.
Yes, they do, because you're playing better competition.
No, they don't. No,
absolutely. It's football. That's football 101.
That's an SEC wise tale, period, 100%. Then they end up with Florida, Missouri, and Louisville.
Well, okay, this is where the hay can be made if you're
Summerall's coming in and going to wipe Kentucky the first time and really listen. I love Will Stein, but Summerall's winning game 1 just because that's the guy that so many Kentucky fans wanted.
We'll see. I think
they're not beating Louisville next year.
I don't know, man. I listen. It's way. First of all, we don't even see. We're looking at the schedule. We don't even know what the roster's going to be. Quarterback. We got the transfer portal.
Now, Kentucky goes. I will say this
on name alone. Those last 3 games, yes, I think they can compete. If
Will Stein brings in another, I'll tell you this. I'm going to give you if Cutter Bowley's the quarterback for this team next year,
he won't.
And this is the record. This is a 3 or 4 win team. He's not an SEC winning quarterback. He's not. I'm sorry, BBN. He's not. Like, here's the thing. For the majority of Kentucky fans, if Cutter Bowley was from Tupelo, Mississippi, we would talk about how bad he was.
Right.
It's because he's from Kentucky.
It's from LaRue County, man.
Yeah.
By way of Lexington, Kentucky.
That's just the way it is. Now, I'm going to give you some winners and losers and tell you why I think of this thing is I'll start with my winners first.
Yes.
I think Florida's a big winner in the SEC in the schedule drop. At home, they get Oklahoma, Vandy, Ole Miss, South Carolina. You get Georgia on a neutral site. But their road games are Auburn, Missouri, Kentucky, and Texas. You can win 3 of those 4 road games.
I think Florida, there's an opportunity there. The talent, they're already talking about Summerall already retaining guys. Summerall's people don't realize he's coaching 2 teams.
Yep.
And one of them's in the playoffs right now.
Shouldn't be, but they are.
Well, I 100% agree with that.
Another winner. How about Vandy? I got Vandy as a winner. You look at their home games they have. You got Ole Miss.
Yes.
Who is going to take a step back.
100%.
Arkansas.
We won 2 games this year.
Bam. I will say Arkansas lost 7 SEC games by combined score of 43 points, and Notre Dame beat them by 48 at their place.
I know.
Alabama, who you beat at home the last time you played them there.
Yep.
Then you also got Tennessee, who you're now better than the program than they are.
Yes.
And then you got Kentucky.
Yes. Vandy, for me, Vandy was the biggest winner for the schedule drop.
I'm sorry, Kentucky's on the road. On the road, you got Auburn, terrible. Georgia, that's a loss. You go at Kentucky, at Mississippi State, at Florida. That's 3 road games you can go. Actually, it's 4 road games you can go win.
Yeah, Vandy came out a huge winner. And, again, we'll see what happens with Diego Pavia and that potential extra year.
I'll give you another winner. Another winner is Alabama. For some reason, Alabama is always a winner in the SEC schedule.
Oh,
at home,
imagine that.
At home, you get South Carolina, Texas A&M, Auburn, and Georgia. Then your road games are Kentucky, Mississippi State, Tennessee, LSU, and Vandy. The biggest loser for me is Missouri.
Yeah, so they finally have to play a tough schedule.
So Missouri,
thank God, Missouri's gotten the cake schedule for the past 5 years in a row.
Missouri at home this year gets Florida, A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma.
Good.
And then on the road, you do get a couple road games that you win. You got Mississippi State, you got Arkansas, but then you also go to Ole Miss and Georgia.
Ole Miss, I think, takes a step. I think Georgia's really looking at that, that's not. I mean, it's harder than it has been for sure, but I don't think it's crazy.
Tennessee's another one. At home, you got Texas, Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky, and LSU. This is the loser side. So you got Texas and LSU and Alabama at home. Then on the road, you do get Arkansas, South Carolina, Texas A&M, Vandy. Vandy's a winner because somehow they get to play Kentucky or Tennessee's a winner because somehow they get to play Kentucky and Vanderbilt every year.
Well, I say that, but Vanderbilt Vanderbilt dominated Tennessee this year. In Knoxville.
Have they won 3 of the last 4 against Tennessee?
I think you're right. So no, and another thing we missed on the Kentucky part of the schedule, real quick, Vic, is that Florida game that we talked about with Summerall, and he's got it going. We'll find out as the next year. Vic, that game's in November.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
In Lexington, it's one of those.
A little snow.
Well, even this year, Kentucky got them in Lexington this year, and it was only in the 50s, and that Florida team shut down. Yeah. I mean, was that because of the weather or because they had already quit on the schedule? I think it's probably the truth lies somewhere in the middle. But if you're going to play Florida, I want them in November.
There you go. When we come back, we'll talk about the big NFL games this weekend, and you're listening to Live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
When you work at Commonwealth Road Products, it's not about just making things possible, it's about making things safe. People who work at Commonwealth Road Products believe staying safe begins with me, bringing a not on my watch commitment to work, home, and play. Let's keep our kids safe when they play sports. Make sure their equipment fits right and works correctly. Pay attention to the temperature when outside and stay hydrated. Join us in saying no one should ever get injured. Not on my watch. Commonwealth Road Products is a proud sponsor of Hancock County Sports Broadcasts.
At River Valley Behavioral Health, we know recovery looks different for everyone. That's why we created The Gathering Point, a free walk-in recovery support center open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's a safe, welcoming space where you can connect with peer support, access resources, or just take a break in a judgment-free environment. No referral or appointment needed. Just walk in. To learn more, visit rvbh.com.
Fall is here. It's the perfect time for a garage door checkup. At Owensboro Garage Doors, we make sure your door is ready for the season ahead. From worn-out springs to weather seals, our expert techs will catch the small stuff before winter turns it into a big repair. Visit Owensboro Garage Door Showroom to explore the latest in stylish, energy-efficient upgrades. Don't let the cold sneak in. Schedule your fall maintenance with Owensboro Garage Doors today. Call us at 270-616-DOOR or visit us at 708 Breckenridge Street.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Katie Gunterman.
Whether it's one item or 100, Pat Hayden Moving gets it there safely and stress-free. As a proud alumni of Owensboro Catholic, Pat Hayden Moving is honored to support the ACEs on the field, in the classroom, and throughout the community. Big move, small move, we've got your back. One item or 100, we'll move it for you. Call Pat Hayden Moving today and support a business that supports Owensboro Catholic. Local, loyal, on the move.
That's the sound of happy at DQ. Get white meat seasoned chicken strips with fried Texas toast and DQ's signature country gravy for just $7.49. For crunch time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket.
Canty Dairy Queen, with locations on Highway 231 in Owensboro and in Beaver Dam beside Ohio County High School. Canty Dairy Queen supports local high school sports broadcasts on ESPN Owensboro. Bring the whole team or the whole family to Canty Dairy Queen for your favorite treats and eats.
Talking about John Moore. He gives you more what you're hankering for. John Moore. Giving more what you're hankering for.
Step inside Don Moore Chevrolet and you'll feel right at home, like you've wandered into an old friend's front porch. Warm hellos, genuine help, and honest advice. Just a small town way we've always done it here in Owensboro. Whether you're picking out a dependable ride or stopping by for a quick tune-up, we'll treat you like family. Don Moore Chevrolet, Highway 54 in Owensboro. Y'all come by and visit.
Give your family and friends a jump start on their journey to better health in the new year with a gift card from the Owensboro Health Park. Gift cards can be used for membership or enrollment fees, play park visits, locker rentals, massages, or other health park services. Purchase gift cards in any dollar amount at the welcome desk of the Owensboro Health Park, located on Ford Avenue in Owensboro. And give the gift of health and wellness.
On December 1st, tragedy struck the United Way of Perry County in Tell City, Indiana. A fire devastated their office, including their Angel store, where toys, gifts, and essentials were stored for families in need this Christmas. Cromwell Media has been present in Perry County since our beginning, and we are asking our community to come together and show the United Way of Perry County that they are not alone. The holidays remind us how important it is to care for one another. Our community has seen some tough moments recently, and many local families need a little extra help. If you're able, we encourage you to lean into that spirit of giving. Supporting our neighbors creates a stronger, safer place for all of our families. From now to December 16th, Cromwell Media is a designated drop-off location for monetary gifts, new toys, hygiene items, and other essentials to help our neighbors. Every contribution helps the United Way of Perry County continue their mission and ensures Christmas still comes for the families who need it most. Donate today through Cromwell Media at 1115 Tamarack Road.
And now, more Live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. Vic Evans, David Clark, taking you home on the weekend on a Friday. Make sure you stay bundled up this weekend. I think the Arctic chill's supposed to move in. Don't forget, we got 3 big games across the Cromwell Family Networks right here on 102.7 The Game, 7 o'clock. Davis County hosts Owensboro. You've got tipping off here in about 7 minutes. The girls' game, McLean-Muhlenberg over on 97X, followed by the boys' game after that. And then at 7:30 on CJ, courtesy of ATTC, you have Tell City taking on Evansville Day.
And just a community note, if you're looking for something to do later tonight, the hot chocolate hop is going on in downtown Owensboro. Me and Heather are heading downtown and having some adult hot chocolate
Dave
beverages.
and I will be back. We'll be re-firing off Friday night. Lights out. Couldn't do it this week because I couldn't have Dave on the air after he went to the hot chocolate hop.
No, it's not good.
that would not be good. Hey, like you said, Saturday, you got Army-Navy here on 102.7 The Game, followed by UK. Sunday, got 3 big football games. You got the noon game, which I think the noon game is the Patriots-Bills game. Then you got the 3:30 game, and then, of course, Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Vikings. Looking at it, Bills and Pats are playing. Bills are 2 games behind with 4 games to go. One, if the Pats win this tomorrow, they're conference champion.
How about Mike Vrabel? Going from Tennessee, everybody wanted him out of there.
No, the Tennessee fans didn't. Their administrator, they sided with the GM, and of course they fired him too.
Yeah, they look real smart right about now.
Yeah, I mean, if the Patriots win this, I mean, the division's theirs. They're probably still going to win the division anyway, but at least if the Bills win this, you're still in the hunt.
Sure.
If you lose this, you'd be 4 games back. Basically, the Patriots have to lose the rest of their games. The Bills have to win the rest of their games.
That's not happening.
Who you got in this game? You like the Bills or the Pats in this?
I'm going to go with the Patriots. I just think that Vrabel's bringing back that standard to New England, attention to detail. The whole, what was it? Was it Tom Brady? Was it Bill Belichick? I think it was a combination of both of them.
No, it was Brady.
But I'll say this. I think Belichick went off the rails afterwards. That guy that was hungry in Cleveland, and then that guy that helped build that there in New England, he wasn't the same guy anymore.
Do you realize that Bill Belichick's overall coaching record is well below 500 when he doesn't have Tom Brady as his quarterback? Well below 500.
Yeah.
Another big game, and it's weird that this is a big game. Panthers taking on the Saints. And the reason this is big is right now because of Tampa Bay's loss last night, who's really playing bad. Panthers are a half game up. They win this one. Now they're a full game up. And then you play the Bucs next week. That's basically for the division. I mean,
the surging Bucs. Well, I think Baker. I'm a Baker Mayfield guy. So, but no, going back to that, Vic, the NFL is there's a lot more. What I feel, and you can correct me if you feel different. I just feel like there's a lot more parity in the league now. There's not just
because it's really bad quarterback play. A lot of quarterbacks taking a step back.
But do you think that's because of, I feel like before, I feel like they're rushing guys into the league a little bit faster now. I know a lot's been made about quarterback development at the high school level and trying to get ahead. But at the end of the day, man, like if you're going to be a dual threat, I think about Jalen Hurts, for example. Like, you just got to take away the run and make him read defenses and make him make tough throws, right? So I think what you always see is a correction back to the median, back to what it is. If your quarterback cannot read defenses and cannot make tight windows and cannot do the checks and the audibles, eventually they'll get found out.
Without a doubt. Then a couple of big games with playoff implications. You got the Lions at the Rams. The Rams are 10-3. The Lions right now are out of the playoffs looking in, trying to catch the Bears. The Lions are sitting at 8-5. The Bears, have had a nice year this year, but kind of been struggling lately. The Lions have got to get a win. They're one game back of the Bears. Which do you like this? You like the Bears in this one, or you like you like the Rams in this one?
Yes.
Or can the Lions get a big win here and make a move?
No, I like the Lions, Vic. I'm gonna go with the fighting Caleb Farkases, and I think again you're talking about consistency. I think what are they 8-5 right now?
The Lions are 8-5. The Bears 9-4.
So I'm gonna go with the Lions. The Bears have had a turnaround, but I'm gonna go with the Lions in this one.
Okay, then you also this is intra-conference play. The Packers 9-3-1. They lead the NFC North. They're going to take on the Broncos. The Broncos are battling the Pats for home field.
Big game.
Through the whole playoffs. We talked about the Pats are 11-2. You got the Broncos are 11-2. How they're 11-2, nobody knows because they never look good doing it.
No.
Who do you like in this one?
I'm going to go with the Broncos. A little NFC AFC matchup here. I'm going to go with the Broncos.
I'm going to go Broncos too. I think that defense gives Jordan Love a bunch of crap. Then on Sunday Night Football, Vikings at Cowboys. They're still battling. There's still a shot they can catch the Eagles.
We got Stephen A. versus Chris Riley here.
Who wins this one?
I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
I'm gonna go Cowboys. They win this one to get to 7-6-1, and then the Eagles may lose again to get to 8-6.
I think they will. They're struggling right now, Vic.
Hey, enjoy your weekend. We got sports all over 102.7 a game for you today, Saturday, and Sunday. See you Monday
at 5 on 102.7 The Game. Special thanks to Foreman Watson Hultree for sponsoring the preceding broadcast. FWHlegal.com. Tune in next time for Live at 5 on 102.7 The Game.